everyone and welcome again to AlgorithmHQ. As I recently posted on both LinkedIn and YouTube that I'll be sharing Razorpay interview experience of one of my very talented friends Piyush who is using his phone. I don't know why. So this video is gonna be about his interview experience, the process, questions if he wants to tell, expose, and followed by the questions which you guys asked. We are gonna answer all of them. तो चलिए फिर स्टार्ट करते हैं इसको श्री कृष्ण का नाम लेकर. Let's start with his introduction. Please introduce yourself.
So hi guys, I am Piyush. I am currently working as a software engineer at Razorpay. I have close to 2.5 years of experience and we are from same college.
Yeah, same batch too.
Same batch.
Okay. So tell me, how did you get the opportunity?
So contrasting to the popular opinion, I actually cold messaged the HR on LinkedIn. She posted about some opportunity regarding software development engineer on LinkedIn, and I just messaged, hey, I'm Piyush, I've been working on this, tech stack, and here's my resume.
She got impressed.
And then after a month,
Yeah.
she asked me to share my updated resume, and then she scheduled the first round.
Okay. So tell me about the interview process and its duration.
So basically in Razorpay there are total of 3 rounds, 2 technical and 1 HR. So first is machine coding round where you have presented with a problem or feature you have to design, and the second is tech deep dive and hiring manager round. So the durations are like 1.5 hour for machine coding and almost 1 hour 45 minutes to 2 hours for tech deep dive. HR is basically a very simple call. Like you have to ask compensation call, and you have to just answer a few
benefits.
Normal questions and all. Yeah.
Okay, so total of 3 rounds and how much duration?
Duration,
Whole process?
The whole process, I think it was less than a month for me.
Okay.
It can vary on how urgent the requirement is versus.
Okay, so how did you tackle late/no replies from HRs?
So I personally feel that I only get tensed on the things that I can control.
Yeah.
So I don't take this thing into a lot of consideration. But yeah, I normally follow up through mails.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to do it. I think everyone can forget in
how many days? Like daily or 2-3 days or
I think once in 2-3 days is fine.
Okay, not daily.
Not daily.
Okay. About your interview rounds we have discussed, but could you let us know the questions? Are you allowed to
I don't think so. I'm allowed to share the exact questions, but let's be realistic here. I think there are many questions available. There are many interview experiences available. So the design question can get as basic as a design a LRU, LFU cache.
Yes.
And can get as complex as design a ticket booking system, design let's say Twitter or something like that. One interesting question that I got faced with in my preparation design, we all have used Stack Overflow to design a Stack Overflow page. That one question can be there, our port system can be there, and there can be multiple answers, and an answer can have multiple comments, and it was a very nice question. So you have to prepare for a variety of problems. It can get as complex as an in-memory SQL database you have to implement, and as I said, as easy as an LRU cache that you can design.
Okay, so in both of your rounds, DSA was not asked particularly.
Not particularly DSA. I was not presented with a problem
and code.
DSA, but one of the problems that in tech deep dive round, one of the problems that I was asked, I used a directed graph approach.
Okay.
It was my personal preference to, I think, use directed graphs.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about your preparation strategy, and could you please share the material you used, if any?
So I have not faced machine coding round. This was my first time facing a machine coding round. So I got insights from a guy who is working in Razorpay. I got insights and he described me in a general few points what I have to do and what I should not do. And then I prepared around 40-50 questions. Machine coding. Yeah. I solved many of them, but for questions which I cannot solve due to time constraint and all, I generally look through approaches, how I can solve them, write it down on paper, get it verified by I think anyone you can ask who solved the problem, or you can basically ask ChatGPT or Claude to
Mhm.
judge your answer and
That is
take their
really
inputs,
good, I think.
take their inputs from there.
Yeah.
So I'll share
Because
you the
nobody
links.
is ready to review the solution you have proposed, I think.
I
So
think
ChatGPT is a good
ChatGPT and
resource.
Claude, and they I think can also provide points of your improvement and
Yes.
where you can think better, where you can handle things better.
Okay, that is quite good. So material GitHub repo you're gonna share with us. Okay. So tell me about your starting of your learning journey. I mean, how did you start?
I started fairly late.
Yeah.
I started in like between fifth, sixth semester.
Both DSA and development.
No. I first started with development, you can say, like go through the basic curve of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and then learn Node.js for backend. The Merge stack was quite popular back then. So, and then I think I worked for 1.5 months, I think 2 months almost, with my friend in one of my work stints that you can say. And then I started solving DSA around starting of my sixth semester, you can say.
Okay, and then from that point of time you prepared till Razorpay. Any break or?
No, I don't do like dedicated preparation. I have not done. Of course, I skim through materials when I'm getting an interview, but I've been doing things as regular as I can.
Yeah. Okay. And how do you manage time with your job for preparation?
No, I'm not an early bird.
Okay.
So I complete all my chores.
Uh-huh.
I complete all my things and I separate out some work.
You stay
I stay up at late.
Yeah, okay. How do you approach problems like, let's say you are presented with a DSA problem or machine coding problem? How do you start thinking about it?
So I have a personalized approach. I think when you practice, you form a personalized approach directly or indirectly. So my basic thing is I just gather as many points I can about the question, what is given in the question, what is required out of the question.
Yes.
And I try to solve it bits by bits, pieces by pieces.
Okay.
I try to think as, let's try with a basic and the brute force solution that I can think of. Let's not think about space and time complexity.
Yeah.
Or whatever complex thing let's basically not think about the constraints there.
In the beginning.
In the beginning, and then I try and solve it brute force, and if I get clicked through an optimized approach, I'll change first one to an optimized. And other than that, if I'm still stuck on the brute force approach, I think of my, let's say, what all tools I have at a disposal, and this you can get by practice. There is nothing else I can think.
Okay.
So I approach every problem like that, whether it is a DSA problem or a machine coding problem, or normally
it's a general strategy.
feature. Yeah.
Okay. So here my questions end, but we have some questions from the users. I actually posted about your interview experience that I'm going to share an experience of Razorpay, and they posted a lot of questions. Let's answer them together. How much knowledge is enough to get a good internship? This is asked by Certain3602.
Okay. So I think it depends on company to company. If you are applying to a startup, I think they want you to be well versed in whatever stack they are using. I think they want you to come and not spend much time on onboarding and get started on the work already. In like good companies like Google, Amazon, you have to be good at DSA based. In some companies it is a combination of both. So yes, it is company wise actually.
So like summing this up, I think we should have a decent knowledge of web development because we can't be the master of development.
Of course.
Yeah, but and some 300 or 250 problems to cover
all the topics.
Yeah. For DSA. Okay. How should I solve DSA questions random on LeetCode or by level or POTD? This is asked by Kunal Maurya.
I think it depends on which stage you are at your preparation. If you don't know the basics, you have to go topic by topic. I think there is no other way to go through if you are just learning it first time. if you have covered all the topics, you know all the basics, you can
Yeah.
try some hard problems, try and
Yeah.
surprise yourself with problems.
Yeah, when
Do
you don't know the
contest.
background of the problem or the topic.
Yeah. Do
I
some
also think
contest.
Yeah. Is web development also important to crack MNC interviews? Do I have to learn full stack development and DSA both for MNCs? He's asking.
I think in some companies there is a very differentiated role for front end, for back end,
Yes.
and in some companies it is a very generalized role. So according to the company, it's like you can prepare.
Yeah.
But I think you should have a basic knowledge of what role you are applying. You should know.
You should know. I think experienced candidates are asked full stack questions, I think.
Okay.
Not purely DSA, because when you go to the upper levels like SD 3, 4.
Design things, and I think that's a mandate.
I am a BCA student, and mostly Indian companies like TCS, Infosys and others avoid BCA students and prefer BTech. Does MNCs also prefer BTech over BCA?
I think we are both BTech, so we are not the right person to answer. But see, it's tough. I think it's tough. But I know some people
who are working in MNCs,
who have BCA, done BCA, they don't have engineering degrees, and they are working in good companies. I think startups don't mind at all.
Yes.
If you know the skills, I don't think any startup would mind if you are from this college, that college, this degree, that degree. But I think for MNCs it can be tough.
Yes.
If you are applying as a fresher, but as you have work experience, I think these things matter less and less.
Yes. And in my previous company, that is Persistent Systems, I have seen people with BCA degrees as freshers, so I don't think it's impossible. Now, tips to improve communication skills. Do you have to say something?
Talk to yourself, talk to people.
You can get better by practice. And
if you are very nervous, what you can say or what you cannot, I think you can prepare for it beforehand. That hey.
But in daily life, you can't. You have to.
No, not in daily life. You are dedicate 30 minutes for it. Just like interview preparation, you can work on your communication.
Look into the mirror and speak. Are you talking about that?
No, normally you can try and talk to people in that way, or you can just sit with yourself, record yourself, and think, hey, I would have done this better. I don't know.
Also, watch web series in English. How much knowledge of machine learning we need to know to crack job interview as a data scientist or machine learning engineer, currently in final year of college, asked by Naveen Sahu.
I've not worked with ML as such. I know a few things about it here and there, but I know people who are working in good companies as an ML engineer, as a data science engineer, as an ML ops engineer. Okay. So see, the thing I can say, it's a changing field, it's a developing field. I think you have to be well versed in the latest technologies. I think few years back it would have been as easy as a weather prediction model and you're fine. But I don't think that's the case now. Okay. And specifically for data science, I think you have to learn things. You have to be good in SQL, data processing, and I think Power BI is also one of the skills that is demanded in data science.
Time. Okay. How to find hackathons around me? Do you have some knowledge about this?
I have not participated in a lot of hackathons, but I think there are college level hackathons that appear good colleges do.
Also, your previous company, Bajaj.
So few companies also have hackathons. They organize yearly, bi-yearly, whatever you want to say. Flipkart, I think, has its own hackathon. Bajaj has its own hackathon, and Jaspay, I think, organizes its hackathon. I think Hacker Earth also started organizing hackathons.
So you can look.
I think you have to look. You have to look in particular what you want.
There are groups also, I think.
I think there are many groups on LinkedIn and which post about this. I think there's a company called as Virtusa which also organizes a national level hackathon. I think there are many companies that organize hackathons.
So the best way to find is by exploring. Okay. Is it true Google mostly asks graph and tree problems? It's not true like graph and tree, but you should be familiar with graphs and trees before appearing for a Google interview. Now, apart from DSA, Google expects any tech stack from candidates. I think in your technical rounds, no, but in your team fit rounds, yes, sometimes.
I think also it depends on the level which you are applying for, right?
Yes,
In
yes.
internships, I don't think there
Yeah.
would be much consideration of, because some will
Yeah.
have work experience, some will have not.
Yeah.
I think for SDs, team
Yeah.
fit or some design round, it will matter.
After experience, it would matter. Now, how did you give your mock interview?
I don't.
You don't?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't.
I asked my brother to take them for me, and like Google Meet, simple Google Docs.
I think you instead of mock interviews, what I did, I went through multiple forums and find out interview experiences of like candidates, like
Yes.
who were appearing for the same position or something above, something below, and you will get a general gist of what is going to be expected out of you. So I think that's a good way to prepare for it.
Okay. DSA preparation strategy to crack product-based companies. Could you elaborate if it like, did you solve based on any sheet like Striver A to Z, and what else did you follow? Where did you practice like lead code or GFG? For me, I think I practiced Striver A to Z sheet in my college days itself, and after that I started reading interview experiences for particular companies.
I will not follow any sheet as such.
Yeah.
I think I covered all the topics, and then if I'm preparing specific for any company, I think you can look through questions through company tags. I think there is also an open source GitHub repo which provides that, and it also has solutions and all. And instead, interview experiences, again, it's a very good thing.
Yeah, very good resource to look into. Many say that Google conduct coding interview in Google Documents. How to practice in it? I mean, before they used to do it, but not right now. They have their own personal platform, but they do not provide any features like indentation or anything. It's pretty similar to Google Documents. You can just try to code in Google Documents and indent it yourself. They don't provide features like Code Complete also. I think
Code Complete, I don't think anyone would provide it.
Yeah. Most importantly, I heard that people saying Google O is the most difficult. How to crack it? I have not given it, so I'm not the right person to answer.
I think for general online assessment perspective, I think you can just go and give contests on this multiple platform, try and solve in the limited time frame, and see for yourself where you are and how can you improve. I think that's
basically practice.
Practice in a very specific way.
Period of time. Okay. Now, final questions. If I fail in interview, can I give my next try within 1 or 2 weeks? As many say that Google or any other product-based company don't allow for next 6 to 12 months. Yeah, it's true.
I think there is cool down period for every month, every company that is out there. Unless
6 months, I think.
I don't know the exact duration, but I think startups generally would allow you if you go, especially for internships. I think they can allow you.
Yeah. But I think most of the product-based companies
have a cool down period.
Okay. Now, how to contribute in open source and how can we revise the development concepts? Like, if I learn Next.js, then I forget some concepts of React. Open source?
Open source, I think there are multiple programs that are.
Can you list some?
GSOC is, I think, the most
popular
famous,
one.
the most popular. You can think of Google Summer of Code. I know people who have applied. You have to submit a proposal and all. And there is one thing called as MLH Fellowship. It is also a very good program if you can get into. And specifically for girls, there is Outreachy. There used to be at least Outreachy. I don't know it is there or not. Hacktoberfest is very famous. We as a team actually in Razorpay provided one open source repository in this Hacktoberfest. So look for these things. I think if you join a club or something in your college, I think they also have some projects that they will be working on, or you can work with your seniors, your peers. And there are many companies, good companies, which work on an open source model. I think Elasticsearch is one of them. Mozilla, everyone knows, is one of them. AppSmith is one of them. It is a very good repository. I've actually contributed. And then I think Supabase is also, again, it's a very good thing. It's a very good repo that you can think. And for starters, if you want to improve, I think one thing that you can do that will help you, that will be go to the issues section and take a merge PR. in GitHub only you will
Okay,
find
okay.
these repositories. Go
Okay.
to the issues section and find a closed PR.
Hmm.
Think about what the problem statement was. Think about how will you approach. Try and solve it yourself if you have the time. And look at the code. What are the guidelines that the person followed to get his code merged? How did he approach the problem? How it can be as basic as what variables did he name
Yeah.
to what design patterns did he use.
Yeah.
So you can learn a lot from it, but you have to go and explore.
What about revising these DSA concepts, forgetting old ones?
I think practice is the only thing.
Yeah.
Anyone can forget. It's not a big problem. Everyone forgets.
Yeah.
So it's a make a revised strategy for yourself. But I think you should, if you make some projects along it, it will be very helpful if you.
Yeah. Please talk on Aptitude and CS Fundamentals. Are they important? I think for college students, definitely. For internships, definitely.
I think CS Fundamentals is one thing that people lack upon.
Yeah.
I think
mostly.
people generally miss in Dev versus DSA Concepts. They generally miss fundamentals, but I think it's very important. At least OS and DBMS, I think, are very important.
What about Aptitude? I think
Aptitude, I think it's
Aptitude round.
Some companies there is there. I think Goldman Sachs organizes Aptitude round. It is very
TCS.
good. TCS also organizes an Aptitude round. But you can prepare it beforehand, like a month, 20 days. I think it will be fine. If you are not appearing for an HFT, I think Aptitude is okay if you
10 to 15 days.
15 to 20, 25 days. Because Goldman Sachs has a very good Aptitude round that I know of.
Okay. Now, tips to crack MNCs. Is competitive programming must? I think no.
Again, it depends on company to company. I think companies like Rubrik, company like
Tower Research.
I think they are very CP based companies if you look into it. But most of the companies are not actually that inclined towards CP, but it's a good to have if you are doing it.
It basically
enhances your problem solving skills.
Yes. How you get interview opportunity? If I do cold mail, recruiter or developer ignores. If I apply through career page, I got bot auto rejection mail. I am a student. How to get interview opportunity?
We all have been there.
Yes.
So I think applying through career page is something that
you can take reference by the way.
It is very hard to get in without referral. I don't think it's
nobody gets a reply.
So I think referrals are a very good thing to do.
Yes.
Try and find the recruiter. Generally LinkedIn and all these platforms have a designated recruiter that they have. Try and connect with them. See what are the requirements. So share them your resume. Try and connect with 4-5 people from that company. I think anyone will give you referral. I myself have gotten so many referrals and I myself have given so many referrals. So I think that's the way to go.
Also, your resume plays a big role while getting selected, shortlisted.
ATS and all should. I myself
ATS
got rejected because of that.
ATS score and also projects which you mentioned in your resume. Explain them pretty nicely.
And you should list the impact and the problem that you have solved.
Yes.
In internship as well as projects. I think if you have done internships, your projects can lag a bit.
Yes.
But you have not done internships. I think projects are
play a big role.
And also don't make projects like, if you don't have internships, make good projects, make good features. If you are making something very generalized, let's say weather prediction program or a YouTube website or a let's say ordering website or something, e-commerce platform, try and implement one feature by yourself and show it I've improvised this. I use these technologies. I worked on this problem statement, and this is very nice to see.
Now the last question is asked by Manpreet Singh. It is how to explain our approach to a problem in interviews, like what to do if the solution isn't clicking, how to make use of the interviewer's hint to get help.
I think the more you are clear about your approach, the more clearly you can speak it to your interviewer. I think practice plays a very great role in it. Also, if you are stuck somewhere, it's not bad to ask for hints. I think everyone is okay with you taking some of hints. And one thing you can incorporate in your practice is just instead of looking into solutions of problems,
Yes.
look into hints.
Hints, yeah.
Any platform provides that. Also, one thing you can do is just copy the question and ask ChatGPT not to code the solution, just to provide some hints that I am stuck here. Where can I think? What should be the direction in which I can think? You cannot ask interviewer for directly the solution of it.
Yes.
You can just
ask
ask
for hints.
it for direction, the right direction, or a particular edge case if you're stuck into it.
In most of the cases, I think interviewers help the candidates
They
themselves.
already help you.
Yeah, so I think we have answered all the questions, but before moving on, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, do tell me my improvement points in the comment section. That's it for the video. Radhe Radhe.